smokes, the size of that gator. Holy smokes, that sucker came flying off of there, dude. Whoa, don't want no problems with him.
What's going on, Salt Strong Nation? It's Matt Niak, and I'm back to share another on the water report with you guys. Now, this one is a little bit different. It's not from my home waters. I was in the Jacksonville area. This is from one of my trips when I was doing some tournament scouting. Now, as you guys will be able to see in the on the water report, it was a pretty phenomenal day, and I found a nice trend in this area with one lure that was definitely most productive over all the others that I threw that day. So we'll talk about all of that, the trend and the productive lure at the end. But first, let's go ahead and check out this action. All right, Salt Strong family, I'm just going to drop you in right here. I was launching on the north shore of the St. Johns River. I had planned to fish Chickapit Bay there on the south shoreline. So I had to make across the St. Johns in some pretty tough waves. But I managed to get across there safely and go after a few redfish. Chickapit Bay and the creeks surrounding are mostly marshy area. So with the incoming and high tide that I had first thing that morning, I knew I was going to need to push to the back to find some fish. So that's what I did. Once I got in the area, I looked at my phone and confirmed with Smart Fishing Spots that there were some oyster bars in the back of this creek area that I was headed in. So once I'd identified where those oyster bars were at a nice junction, I headed there and planned to fish.
Got him. Got him. On the kicker crab right here, man. I watched him come up and eat it, come right up to the boat and eat. That was epic. Stay out of the grass. There we go. Got him. Yee. I knew there was a fish there. Whew. All right, y'all. Got our first red fish right here on the kicker crab. Not a bad fish, about 20 inches maybe. We'll take it though. Slowed it down a little bit with the kicker crab, and that's what did it. How about it? Nice fish right there. Beautiful blue tail right there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is immaculate, man. Just gorgeous right there. Really nice fish. And he's gone. Yee yee. Love it.
Unfortunately, I missed that fish, but I just keep moving, keep covering water.
There's a whole school of reds right there. Whole school about to hook up.
Unfortunately, that wasn't the case.
Here they are. They're right here next to me.
I've never seen this.
I'm trying not to spook them. Oh my God, those are some big old fish.
I've never had redfish turn down a wake bait right in front of them. But maybe it was a little too aggressive for these fish in this situation. So I changed tactics, and I'm glad I did. It made all the difference. Now I want you guys to take a second right here to watch this retrieve. This is with the kicker crab on a Texas-side jig head, and pay attention to how all of my motions with the rod are smooth and natural. There are no erratic jerks to it.
Got him. Another redfish on the kicker crab, man. Now, get us some quick pictures. We'll release this guy. All right, y'all. Not a bad one. Not the best out the bunch, but not a bad one. All right, release this fish. Send him on back. Yee. Woo. Ready to go.
After fishing in Jacksonville, I do want to say this is why I recommend bumping up to 30-pound leader when you're fishing in areas like this. I'm all around oysters and catching fish that are tight to the structure.
Little bitty red. Little bitty fella. Whoa. Little bitty fella. Still a fish though. He wanted that kicker crab too, y'all. He ate that joker. Crushed it. Yee yee. Pretty little guy. Send this fella on back. Yo, Andy's gone.
By this point, I'd identified a trend. These fish were in the shallow water next to these oyster bars, so that's where I kept focusing.
Stay off of those oysters. Got him off. Whew. Got another one. That kicker crab is showing out at this low tide, y'all. All right. Another beautiful redfish right there on that kicker crab. Gonna go ahead and let this guy go right back where I got him from. And he heads right back to that oyster bar. Awesome, man. Hopefully this holds out for me. Hopefully I can find some fish in here. Got some options for sure.
I had to go ahead and make my way out of there. The water level was getting really, really low, but I did find me a cut through where there was a nice drop off. So I started to cast in that area and I had some success.
Doesn't feel like a big one, but it's a red. Oh, there we go. Another one on the kicker crab right there. Yes, sir. They hanging out next to these oysters though, that's for sure. Send them on back. Another fish. This fish feels better, but he's not much better at all. Nursery over here. I got numbers here. That's one thing about it. I got a good number of fish over here. Beautiful blue tail on these fish. If you can see that, these fish have a huge crustacean diet. They feed heavily on the crabs, shrimp, and all in here. The snails, the oysters. These redfish in here have a large shellfish and crustacean diet. Another one. I don't think this one's any better either. It's not. It's about the same size, maybe smaller. Wonder where the big ones go. Woo, another beautiful redfish right there on that kicker crab, you guys. Choked it right there in his mouth. Send this guy on back. You, pretty fish, man. These fish in here are pretty. And he's gone. We got us a really nice trout right here, y'all. Really fat trout on the Fred paddle tail. Crushed it right there in that drop. That deeper portion, they're sitting right there. Oh, my jerk, gotta give him a jerk. Gotta give him a jerk shad. Trout threw my jerk shad. Gotta go get it. He threw it off. I gotta have it. I gotta get my jerk shad, cause his trout threw it off. Gotta get my jerk shad, cause I can't litter the water. Gotta get the jerk shad, cause it's gonna catch more fish. Gotta get the jerk shad. Don't you know I got it? Yeah.
Finding those trout in those deeper cuts would end up being the last fish for the day, and we made the trip back across the St. Johns River.
Well, Self Strong Nation, I'm whooped. This mud right here has beat me. I am covered. I am absolutely covered in pluff mud. That's just the price you pay to get into some of these fishing spots, I guess. But we had a good day. Had a really good day. Caught us a lot of good fish and some solid fish. Working it around those oyster bars really slow on that outgoing tide was definitely the ticket. If you want to pick up that kicker crab or the Texas side jig head or any of the stuff I used on this trip, we'll make sure we link that down below. So all you got to do is click the name of the item and it'll take you straight to the tackle shop.
Welcome back, you guys. As you can see, it was a pretty good day. Now, as I said, we talk about the trend that I found. Now, in this area, there's a huge tide swing. These tide swings can often be 6 foot or even more than that. So it can often be tough trying to find where these fish go during those high water levels or when there is no water. So these fish can be tough to find in this area for sure. But I had a plan and I had an idea of what I might be able to do throughout the day to be able to target these fish. And so what I did was, with that higher water level, when it was still coming at the top of the first third of the outgoing, that was when I was able to target areas that were going to run out of water first and be optimal conditions for those fish in that lower water level at the highest portion of the falling tide. So let me make that sense. If you're going to lose 6 feet worth of water, but you have an area that only has 3 feet worth of water level in it, that's probably the area that those fish are going to be in first. Now, if you have another area that at high tide is 4 to 5 feet deep, that's where those fish are probably going to stage into after that. So if you can find areas that will be able to stage down in water levels, ultimately finding yourself in some of the creeks and those bigger, deeper drop-offs where those fish can get in at the lower portion of the tide cycles when they fall out of the grass and they come off those mud flats, that's how you're going to be able to successfully target fish in those areas. Now, as I said, we talk about what allowed me to be most productive that day, and it was the Z-Man kicker crab. As you guys can see right here, I do have that rigged up on a Texas side jig head, but it does have that really nice claw right there, and that's what those fish are able to key in on. These things are super durable, as you guys can see right here. These things are just phenomenal. You can bump these along the bottom. That's why I have this on the Texas side jig head right here, because it has a great weedless property. You're able to keep it weedless when you're working close to those oyster bars. Now, when I was fishing this area, that's what I was targeting. I was trying to find areas that had a concentration of oyster bars. That's where I had my most success. Now, you're wondering how do I know where all the oyster bars are going to be in an area? Well, I'm just able to look on Smart Fishing Spots, and I'm able to see a grass layer there that shows me where any seagrass is in an area, or alternatively where there may also be oyster beds. So that's a great tool, and that's how I was able to be successful in an area that I've never been to before and was completely unfamiliar with. So success is all about proper planning, and you can do some proper planning for sure with our new Smart Fishing Spots app. It just has a lot of information in there, whether it be information about depth contours, wind, or even tide. It's got it all right there. Now, again, that is exclusive to our Insider members. So if you're interested in becoming an Insider member, so you can have access to that or even discounts to all your fishing tackle on things like the Z-Man kicker crab or your Texas side jig heads, make sure you check us out at saltstrong.com. And if you guys are interested in some more fishing tips, make sure you like and subscribe, or check us out at saltstrong.com for our fishing tips page section, where we have a huge plethora, an amazing library worth of videos dedicated to making you a better fisherman, a better angler, and of course, the envy of all your friends on social media. So if you have any questions for me, make sure you leave those down in the comments section, and until next time, we'll see you in the next video.